Welcome back, you guys. So, before we talk about charts and strategy, we have to talk about the brain behind every trade. This is trade brain. So, if discipline was something you could just decide to have, most traders would not be struggling with it still. So, if you've ever said, like, I wish I could just be more disciplined, this episode is going to change how you see that completely. I used to tell myself this all the time, like, I'll just be more disciplined. I know what to do. Tomorrow, I'm going to execute perfectly, or next trade, I'm going to do everything the right way. I thought discipline was like a character trait. I thought it was like something that you either had or you didn't have. And if you just didn't have it, then just, too bad. But the crazy thing about that is like I was disciplined in other areas. Like I was disciplined at my job, I was disciplined in college. Like, yeah, but like for some reason, I was not able to translate that discipline into my trading. And I really had a hard time with that. Like, I really beat myself up about that. I thought something was literally wrong with me. So, discipline lives in the part of your brain that's responsible for your logic, planning, impulse control. And this part of your brain works beautifully when you're calm. But when your money's on the line, especially money that you care about, your stress increases. And we're going to talk about cortisol in another video. Stress does something very specific to the brain. It reallocates resources away from logic towards survival. So those moments when you need discipline the most, you're actually least able to access it. This is why traders say stuff like, I don't know what I was thinking. I blanked. I forgot what the plan was. It's not a lack of discipline. That's your brain operating from urgency and not intention. We write our trading rules out when we're calm, and we take trades under pressure. And most traders don't train for that gap. And a lot of people will say, I'll just try harder. But again, it's not about willpower. Telling yourself to try harder only adds more pressure and only pushes your brain further into survival mode. The harder you try to grip discipline, the faster it slips away. And so the question most people ask, which of course naturally they're going to ask, why can I not just be more disciplined? But what we should actually be asking is like, why does my discipline go out the window specifically when I'm trading? And that answer has absolutely nothing to do with willpower. And that's why the market is not something we can conquer by force. We actually have to be really calculated. So if discipline feels inconsistent for you, it's not because you're weak. Again, it's because discipline is not something you can force. Discipline is actually something that emerges when your nervous system feels safe enough to access it. It's a state. And profitable trading, it doesn't require you to be disciplined 24/7, right? You're human. You're going to have your highs and lows. We're not going to be 100% every single day. But what profitable traders do have is a system that works for them no matter how they're feeling, and they have structure. It's not about, can I trust myself today? It's about, what structures do I have in place? What systems do I have in place that are going to protect me and my capital regardless of how I'm feeling? And that's exactly what we're going to get into throughout the series. How does stress change our behavior? Why do our emotions, what happens when our emotions are overriding our logic? And also how consistency comes from regulation and not force. Because once you stop beating yourself up for being undisciplined, we can address the root of the problem. So yeah, next time you catch yourself saying like, I wish I could just be more disciplined, just remember, discipline doesn't disappear under pressure. Your access to it does. This is Trade Brain, and we're just getting started.